So the new thrift challenge with the bike took a different turn than I expected. Hey guys, what's up? I am so excited because I have been on the hunt for this free bike that I talked about in one of my previous videos. I went to pick up a bike yesterday. I'll show you that one. And then I'm going to pick up a bike today. I know that sounds a little crazy, but here's the story. So I had been looking on Marketplace for this bike for, I think it's been a couple weeks, which, okay, that's not very long, but I've been like trolling Marketplace and it's become a little much. So I knew I had to pick a bike finally and just pick a bike and see what pans out. Message a couple of sellers and see if I can get any leads. So the process of that looked a lot like typing in all kinds of search suggestions. I did free road bike, commuter bike, free bike just in general, and I did find quite a range of prices. Not surprising, but typically the common price ranges were, okay, let's say you're really into biking and you're looking for that nice road bike and it was a couple $100s on the low end, or oddly enough I found a lot of listings that were marked free, and then in the subject line, in the title, it said not free. So in the description, it gave a little more details on that, and it said something like, I've restored this bike, or I have several bikes that I've restored, I'm into restoration, give me a price, or specifically look up what this bike typically goes for and send me a suggestion. Or I even found one that said like, hey, send me your story, otherwise I'm not going to consider your message. Another group of listings, excuse me, that I found were like $12 or under, or simply labeled as free. There's not so many of those, but there are a small handful of the free listings that will say free, and you look into the description and it says like sold as is, or take it as is bike, and you can tell that it's as is. I only found like two, I think it was just two that were free and in good condition, so those just flew away. And unfortunately one of those was like way too far away from me, so I'm like, dang it. But yesterday, so in finding the bike yesterday, I had messaged several people. This gal, so sweet, responded pretty quickly, and she gave a little bit in the description about, yeah, this bike needs work, you can't ride it right away. She was upfront and honest about that. So I went to pick up the bike. I sat on it, and unfortunately right away I was like, this might be too tall for me. So it's that straight across top bar. I'll show you guys in just a few minutes here, but the seat was all the way down. It was a super cushy seat. The seat itself is wonderful to sit on, super comfy, but the tires were also completely flat, so I did pump those up last night. I'm gonna see if it's just that they had deflated, or if there's a hole and they completely deflated overnight. But I tried sitting on this bike, and immediately I noticed that it was a little uncomfortably tall. So I tried to just like wibble wobble on it. She said I couldn't ride it because it did need work, and she was a little concerned that the wheels themselves, the rims, could warp from me trying to ride it. So I respected that, of course, and she actually said, you know what, why don't you just take it? It'll save me a trip to the thrift store or wherever I was going to take it. And I was really appreciative of that. So she even said like, hey, why don't you just take it? If it works, great. If it doesn't, maybe you can fix it up and sell it, and just get a little bit of money for it. So I took it, I got it home, I pumped up the tires, and I haven't ridden a road bike before, or one with the bar right across the top, and I was not comfortable stopping. I went very slowly. I went like 2 feet. That's all I did. And I'm glad I did, because the second that I took my feet off the pedals, oh man, I kind of hurt myself and it did not feel good. So I did a little more hunting last night, and I'm gonna go hopefully pick up another bike this morning with the boys. Also a pretty cheap bike, so on the bright side, yesterday I saved the money for that one, and I'm going to get an even cheaper bike that will hopefully fit me better today. I'm really excited. I'll show you guys that one if I get it. If not, I'll explain why. But let's take a look at that other bike. So here's the bike that I found the other day from the nice gal who said, you know what, just take the bike, it'll save me a trip to the thrift store. Unfortunately, it's also the same bike that I gave the ouchie, and also needs a bit of work. Not like an overhaul of work, I would say. It needs some basic stuff like new tubes and tires, things like that, but it could be a really good bike for somebody. So I'm gonna see if I can, I'm gonna post it, see if I can find somebody who needs it and also just has more time than I do to work on it. So let's take a look at the other bike and we're gonna start cleaning it up. All right, here is the before. This is how I got the bike. I'm gonna clean it up now. We'll see after a cleanup job, just that, we'll see how it turns out. But there's definitely some work that needs to be done on this bike between new tubes, tires, and a general tune-up. And after my oldest son saw me getting out the soap and bucket for my bike, he said that his needs a wash and general tune-up. So we'll take a look at his bike and his scooter and see what needs to happen. I have such a good little helper. He said he wanted to scrub, so that's his job. All right, I'm pretty pleased with how this bike turned out. There was a lot of grime on it. I don't know how long it's been sitting actually, but turned out pretty well. I cleaned up the gears, rinsed it several times, and toothbrushed almost the whole thing, or at least all the detailed areas. And he had a lot of fun doing that and helping Mom. So now it's just time for a tune-up. Got to get those tubes replaced and the tires. Okay, so something that I also wanted to mention to you guys was something that I learned through the process of looking for this red bike, and I'll still show you the fully tuned up bike, rideable, and I want to show you a setup of our family bike situation for when I do take the boys out for rides, because I think that would be interesting for you guys to see. But something that I learned from, or was reminded of from another gal's video, was she was going over how to be mindful, tips and tricks, how to be mindful about your purchases, and the phrase, buy it nice or buy it twice. Sometimes it is just worth it to spend the extra money to make sure that something... Sorry, I got distracted by a squirrel moment, literally. Sometimes it's nice to, sometimes it's better to spend the more money on something and not risk having to dish out 20 bucks here again, until you've spent over 100. So I'm looking forward to this restoration. Yeah, this will be a restoration bike. I'm looking forward to making it my own, and thankfully I do know someone from our church who can help me, give me tips and tricks for how to fix different parts of it. I'm really looking forward to that, because not only do I want to save money on the restoration part of it, but also learning how to do different maintenance on the bike and even improve it. I really want to know how to do those things so that I can do them myself in the future and not have to pay somebody. So that's kind of another way to do the buy it nice or buy it twice, because I don't want to have to keep paying somebody else to do some just routine maintenance. I don't know how to take off a tire and put it back on, mostly the rear wheel. I can do the front wheel, but I'm a little nervous about the rear wheel. So maybe I'll show you guys that, or maybe it'll be too embarrassing. But I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this update, and stay tuned for the rideable update. See ya!